Hello and welcome to another video. In today's video we're continuing with our steering rebuild on our new Bolens HT23. In the last video, you may remember, we replaced all of the bushes in the bottom part of the steering and put the quadrant back in. Now before recording today, we actually took the steering column out. As you can see, it's not there. It is over here in parts. So you've got the actual column, and then we took the steering wheel off. And we did all of this to get to the bush at the top, which you can see we've put a new one in. Today though, we're going to start with the steering stops, which are here and here. And you can see the previous owner has actually wound this one completely in. What we're going to do is roughly adjust them while taking this one fully out, so that we can put a new half nut on. As if by magic, we've sorted out the steering stop now. And it's time now to try and put the column back in. We've got the steering column into the bottom bush now, the new one, and all that's left to do now is put this new bush on, which I'll do now. Get it centralised. And then what we have to do is put the steering wheel back on. There we go. And now to put the Bolens badge back in the steering wheel. The final thing we've done on the quadrant before we move on to track rod ends is put quite a large amount of grease on there. What we'll probably do is once we've finished the rest of the steering and we've moved it around a bit, we'll probably put some more grease on it. The next very important job to do is the track rod ends. So we've ordered many of them and we've looked at the tractor already, and we will need to, well, we definitely needed to replace 3 of the 4 because they were bad, but we're going to replace the 4th one anyway, so that's 4 for this tractor, and we ordered enough that if we had them we could actually do 5 HTs with the amount that we ordered. But although we've got this rod off already, which goes from the quadrant onto the axle, what we're actually going to do is do this rod first, which it's important that we do it up the right length, because that makes sure that the tyres are both straight rather than towed in or out. That's one off. And now for the other side. There we go. Let's see if this will come on. Looks like it will need to be persuaded to come out. We've gotten the rod out now, and it appears to actually have bent and been touching the PTO while it's been steering to make that scuff mark. Anyway, that'll have to get bent back. But what we thought was the only good track rod end has actually been welded up here. If you look, that is all the movement you get out of it. Compared to a new one, you get that much movement. So it's a good thing we ordered enough to do all of these. We don't have any video of putting these rod ends on, but this rod is finished now. We didn't record it because we thought it would just be a simple case of taking one off, putting another on. But it didn't actually turn out fully like that because we bent the rod back in the press because we couldn't do it in the vise. How someone managed to bend this, I'm not fully sure. The only way I can think of is driving with one wheel into a tree trunk. But anyway, another thing we noticed was that there was quite a large gap from here to where the nut was on the thread, and then on this side you could barely see any thread this side, so we've made both of them 1/2 inch as a start towards our adjustment. Now, after quite a long time of trying to get it right, we have got that rod back on and the wheels are straight. What we did to make sure that they weren't towed in or towed out was use the straight edge against the rim on the rear wheel, making sure that it is the rim, not the tyre, because the tyre could be warped in some different direction. And then at first we just eyed it to the straight edge to see if they were roughly okay. And then what we did was we got the tape measure and then measured the distance to the inside and then the outside, and we've gotten those so they're pretty much exactly the same. But now the next job is to replace the track rod ends on this rod that goes from the front axle to this part of the quadrant here. Then after this, the whole steering should be complete and we can do a full test of it. It looks like we spoke too soon about this one being easy, because we've just had to use our monster propane torch to get that off, and we still struggled even with the propane torch on there. But now we're just going to let that cool off and then we'll get the new one on. But as a contrast, this side actually came off really easily. So a long time later now, the steering's all done and adjusted. That took quite a while. And then we were going to put the rear fender on and go for a test drive. But that didn't quite go to plan because it started tipping it down outside before we could actually get out there to do a test drive. So we improvised and decided that we'd change the engine oil, because we hadn't done that already, and we changed the hydrostatic oil in the axle. But now we are out of time for this weekend and it's still raining outside, which is not very nice, because I was looking forward to taking this for a drive for the first time in about a couple of months now. But that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Please subscribe to my channel, like this video and see our other videos. More to follow as we do more on this tractor. Bye!